I'm going to ask them questions. You're going to hear the story about how they became Seventh-day Adventists. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us how old you are? Auntie Rin, how old are you?
82.
82.
82. Praise the Lord.
Auntie Dimi, how old are you?
79.
Wow, 79.
79.
God bless you.
Could be 80.
Hello.
Me?
Pops?
Oh, my name is Felix Albarico Dugaduga, 76 years old.
Okay. This is the history of what's happening. In 1932, they left Hawaii, and Auntie Irin Quijano, why did you guys leave Hawaii?
Because it was depression, 1932.
If you study history, in the 1930s, America was in depression years, and it also affected Hawaii, where they all were living at that time. So in 1932, Pedro Dugaduga took his family back to Hawaii. And see, Auntie Irin, mother, has passed away at a young age, so she went back with them, back to the Philippines in 1932. Now, in 1945, was it 1945? You returned back, right?
My father sent me ticket to go back to Hawaii.
Now, the war, now for you historians, when did the war end, the World War II end? 1945, exactly. Now, but before we go into there, we're going into the history of them. They were not Seventh-day Adventists before. So, okay, Pops and Auntie Dimi, you have to tell us, what year was it that you guys became Seventh-day Adventists?
Can I start in the beginning?
No, just tell me the year first.
Oh, the year. We were baptized in 1943.
Okay, in 1943. In 1943, World War II was going on. Remember that? Hawaii was bombed 1941. And so, I have to ask you guys these questions. Where were you in 1943?
We were in Mindanao, the town of Midsayap, in the mountain of Magango.
They were in the mountains. What were you doing in the mountains?
We evacuated because war is in the city and we were afraid of the Japanese soldiers, so we went to the mountain.
So they were hiding up in the mountains. They were hiding in the mountains in 1943. How many years were you guys hiding in a mountain?
Since the war started, and then the American came 1945.
Okay. Now, my question is, when did the war start in the Philippines? For you historians, when did the war start in the Philippines?
1940? 1940.
1940. So they were, how long were you hiding in the mountains? For 3 years?
41, 42, 43, 44, 45.
For 5 years.
But 5 years, the American came, so we go
Yeah.
back to our home.
So they were in the mountains for 5 years, hiding from the occupation of the
Japanese war.
of another country, and politically correct, okay? Okay, so they were hiding up in the mountains. I heard there was a lot of miracles that was happening up there in the mountains. Why don't you tell us some of the things, Auntie? Or Pops?
As far as I remember, the miracle as we become a Seventh-day Adventist, only 3 of us were baptized, my father, Mrs. Lau, Rose, and I. But the rest just followed. The miracle is, we were eating more than 2 weeks without salt. We go round to the mountain and look for food, if we can gather sweet potato or young papaya, that's what we eat. But we plant our own corn, tomato, and you name it. And the miracle is we were all sick with malaria. But the Lord blessed us and we all survived. But my mother
There's another miracle. You know what happened? I just added this one. Because when we went to the mountain, we don't have any salt or sugar.
That's right.
But this miracle come when we dig to find water, come out salt. So that's a big miracle in the mountain because we're looking for salt. But it's happened when we dig something that we're looking for
Water.
water,
Salt.
the water is salty.
That's right.
So we make salt.
Boil.
We
How
built
did you
the
make
wood
salt? How did you make salt?
Boil. We boil the water.
bowl.
When it's dry, it's salt.
The thing is, they were up in the mountains, and all of a sudden, a spring. They were digging for water, and they found a spring. Water was coming out, and it was salty. And it was a miracle because the only way they could get salt is they got to go back down to the city where the occupation was being held. And
After the war, we find a place that we cannot find any more salt. It's no water, no salt.
is that true that that area was people started digging,
Yeah.
digging, and digging? They started digging and trenching that area because they wanted to have more salt, and everybody found out about it, and they were using this area, and of course they started going down deeper and deeper because the water was more scarce. Is that true?
True.
And then at the end of the war, when you guys finally left, the water or the well dried up.
No more.
Imagine that. Also, what made you guys interested in becoming Seventh-day Adventists? Because I know what you guys told me before, but what was it? Because Auntie, you told me, and Auntie also rose and told me, what was it that really turned you guys to become Seventh-day Adventists? Because there were other people there in the mountains that were Seventh-day Adventists. I'm going to ask her later how she became Seventh-day Adventist too, Auntie Irene. But right now we're in the mountains. So, in the mountains, what made you guys? What did you hear? Or
Music.
did you hear that? It was the music.
Music.
It was the songs.
The songs. The young people are going around house to house, but they came to our house because we are plenty children. So they sing a song, and then we love the music. And for me, I remember I told them to come back next Saturday. I didn't say Sabbath, I don't know the time. And they came and just sing and sing and sing. And I told them to come back again, and they come back. They didn't mention anything. They didn't even pray. But finally, they invite us to go to the church, and we go. And my father is wide reader of the Bible anyway, because we are Protestant at that time. And there's 2 churches during the war, 2 churches, all Adventist. And so we heard their music. But we went to that big church.
Wow. So when you were in the mountains, there was a church up there already? Not
Yes,
Really?
we just built a church because there are plenty Adventists in the mountain.
Wow.
So we become
So you
Adventist.
guys, I remember you guys saying that you guys was influenced by the songs that they were singing, that you guys joined and then participated. Dr. Israel, singing goes a long way. And as you know, this is a singing church. And singing was the one that influenced our aunties and uncles and to become Christians, Seventh-day Adventists. Now, this is happening back then. Now, Auntie Irene, Keanu, in 1945, you went back to Hawaii. But before you went back to Hawaii, how did you become Seventh-day Adventist?
Before I went to Hawaii?
Was it before or after? After, right?
Yeah, when we were in Hawaii already.
She was already back in Hawaii. Then what happened in Hawaii?
We were worshiping idols and to the dead people. And then a man came around selling books. So we bought The Desire of Ages, and he told us to study the Bible.
Auntie, were you married at that time?
Yes,
And you were married
with
to
Kihano.
uncle?
Kihano, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And-
1954.
1954.
54.
Became Seventh-day Adventist then.
Yes.
Okay. What animals did you guys raise before becoming Seventh-day Adventist?
We had lots of animals. We had cows, we had goats, chickens, and pigs.
So they had cows, chicken, goats, and pigs. But once you became Seventh-day Adventist, what happened?
No, it was in 1954 we had a baby to be baptized in the Catholic Church. And there's a time that colporteur came in and sold us the book, The Desire of Ages, and he told us to study the Bible.
So it was a co-porter that came and sold him a book, A Desire of Ages, and start giving Uncle Quijano and Auntie Irene Bible studies, and they became Seventh-day Adventists. Boy,
And the whole family were baptized.
right. So during the wartime, were you guys together?
No.
Can I answer? Manang Iris is in Siquijor, and we were in Midsayap, Cotabato during the war.
During the war.
Okay. Is there any questions from anybody about that would you like to know about how they became Seventh-day Adventists and things like that? Any other questions?
Auntie Erin, what was Lolo Pedro Dugaduga's, before he became a Seventh-day Adventist, what were you practicing as far as your religious practice?
We were in the Catholic Church.
You were Catholic?
Yeah, we would pray to the dead people and to the idols.
So as far as the Moncado faith, what came about that?
My papa. Papa's Mukado.
Uncle Felix, what is I know that the family before Papa Pedro or Lolo Pedro was practicing the Moncado religion.
Yeah, that's a part of the religion that you eating raw. You don't eat the cooked vegetable, always eating the raw vegetable or fruit.
Okay. So I think with the Moncado religion, the religion part is something else, but the practice of eating raw foods, that was a healthier part. It's amazing how all the 10 children or 11 children that Grandma Sever and Grandpa Pedro, they all survived, even though a couple of them were malnourished, because there were not a lot of food at that time during the war, and so they were just fending for themselves. But it is a miracle how all our aunties and our uncles survived during this time without the proper nutrition.
Amazing how God knows what would happen in the future. Who knew that many of you would be here in the United States sharing the gospel with other people? God had plans for this family, and we'll know more about how they came back to the United States. That'll be held on Sunday. But today was wanting to know basically how you became Seventh-day Adventists. So basically, they were in the mountains in the Philippines during World War II, hiding from the occupation of the Japanese. And they found Christianity up in the mountains, hiding. Now, I've never experienced camping for 3 days, but hiding in the mountains is a totally different situation. So kids, if you get a chance, talk to the elders of this church, because many of them that was in the Philippines experienced that. Ask them questions. Ask them things that, pertaining to what they used to do, because you learn a lot from the elderly people. They have so much love to give, and there's so much they want to share. But in order for them to share, you need to ask them. Auntie, go ahead.
Maybe some of them doesn't know. 5 girls was born in Hawaii, and the sixth, she is the youngest. She is infant when we went back to the Philippines. She is the only one was born in Honolulu, but rest of us we were in the island of Maui or Kauai like that. And so we are 5 girls and 1 boy. Then that's the time of operation. Manang Iren is with me. That's why. But my 2 sisters already in school. So remember, we have Josephine, Oliver Yotikla, and Juanita, and I, and Rose Danger. And so we are so lucky that we're able to come back in our town, with the place we were born. See? That's why we're easy. But you know what? We have 7 sisters and 3 brothers. But one of our sisters, the youngest one, is still in the Philippines. They weren't able to come yet, Mrs. Aurora Camacho. But you know what? It's coming pretty soon. And the main thing is, I cannot forget this, is Manang Irene, who is the one who come first here in Hawaii. And he's just like throwing a rope in the Philippines and picking up one by one. First we come is Ivan Mother.
Oh, don't tell them the secret.
No.
That's for tomorrow.
No. It's just like, because first is who came back is him who came alone. 1961, 62 the family came, 60, and 61 you come back and get your family, and then we follow. Eliezer, if Eliezer is here, and and his father, I and my husband, and then followed us is the Oliverios. After the Oliverios, then the Laos. After Laos, then the rest is the Quinones family. I'm so happy. She's the first who came here. She's just like I told, she's just like, because she's the one who's taking care of our papers, our birth certificate. She's the one who's give us, and then we're able to come back. It's not so hard because we are all born here in America. So I'm very thankful for Manang Irene. I thank the Lord for everything what He has done for us.
Amen.
And Auntie Irene, I have to ask you a question. What was the name of Grandpa's wife?
Sibera.
Severa.
My mama.
How is Severa related to you, Auntie?
They are brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Her father and my mother, our mother, is brothers and sisters.
Your brother?
No,
Her father.
and our mother
Okay.
is brother and sisters. So this our first cousins, the Quijanos.
Oh, okay. So it's interesting that both families became Seventh Adventists. This one was in Hawaii. They did it when they were in the Philippines. And so in a nutshell, go ahead.
How's he contact us?
That's tomorrow.
Oh, that's-
Tomorrow.
I thought this is the last one.
We wanna save some for tomorrow.
Okay, then.
Okay.
I think it's amazing that the matriarch of this family is actually Grandma Auntie Erin.
Yes.
She is the matriarch. We honor you. It is amazing. It gives me tears because when we came to United States 26 years ago, I was telling my mom, I said, wow, we're finally here and we're going to finally come and meet all our family. And so in this family reunion, I am so privileged that my children are here, my cousins, my niece and my nephews. They are still able to see the matriarch of this family, the patriarch of the family. And I think that's a legend. Even though we're not wealthy family, that is the legend that we could give to them, the richness of our family.
And Auntie Erin, when you were in the Philippines, what happened? All of a sudden, you went back to Hawaii, and who'd you go back with?
Alone. Papa sent me alone.
So your dad sent you back to Hawaii?
Yes, I'm back to Hawaii.
Okay. Were you married at the time?
Not yet.
Not yet. And so you met your husband,
In
uncle
Honolulu. In Honolulu.
in Honolulu, Ruben. Manoy Birino Quijano. Okay, so you got married.
Yes.
And then what happened? You tell us what happened. What happened after you got married, or what year was that you got married?
1947.
So you went back you went back to Hawaii in 1945, and then you got married in 1947. And then what did you start doing?
We had gardening, something like that. We did gardening in Kukuhead. We had what we raised, man? We raised animals, goats and pigs.
Okay, remember you told me that you started writing to your cousins.
Yeah, to the mother.
So you started writing letters to Auntie Oliverio
Yeah, to make them come back.
to tell them what?
Huh?
You wanted them to come back to Hawaii.
Yeah. And to Felix Dugaduga. Oh, yeah, to the mother first.
To the mother of Oli,
Yeah.
Auntie Oliverio. And then what happened? Pops, you started talking to Auntie about coming. I mean, she wrote to you, and then tell us what happened.
No, the sister told me.
My sister Tikla, he wrote to me that our cousin in Honolulu, Irinea, writing to me that you're looking for you. So they give me the address. So I write to them, to Mrs. Kiano, Aminiring, and he sent me my birth certificate in Honolulu. And then that's the time when I received my birth certificate, I went to the immigration, U.S. immigration. And then he said, what we do about this? Sabi nangirin, I don't have any money to go to Honolulu. So he sent me money. No, take it. And that time I'm using only passport, no clearance, no police clearance, no MBI clearance, only passport. No medical. I just give to the consulate and he gave me the passport and he said you can leave now. So no inspection. But I said, when I went to Manila, so I showed him the ticket and the passport. He told me you cannot leave the country because you're overstaying in the Philippines. So how much? 1,500. You have to pay this. My money in my pocket is only 20 pesos. So I said, so I went to the immigration again, the U.S. consulate, that I asked them to help. And I said, don't worry, come back tomorrow to the foreign affair. When I went back the following day, they said, oh, sign this paper, your deportation, because you don't have any money. So they deport me, they escort me in the police to the boat. And I just carry he laughing to me because I carry only my baloyot, my box. Now only inside the box, only 2 pants, two underwear, and 2 t-shirts. That's all I get. And he just laughing to me, you go to Hawaii? That's all you bring? Oh, yes, that's all. I'm very poor. So that's why it happened. And Manairin, I expect that Manairin didn't know me. But I don't know her. When they meet me in the pier in Honolulu, I don't know what happened. Okay, Manairin, why? When you see me first or I saw you first?
Yeah. I saw you, but I don't know you.
Now, how you meet me? How you meet me?
I saw you, but I was not.
Sorry.
I was not really know if it was you because you look too handsome. I don't know if it was you.
Then what happened?
So what happened?
And then my grandma said, that's not your cousin because he's too handsome. He belonged in Honolulu, Hawaii. And then later on, a man came by, came from working in the toilet. And my stepmother said, that's your uncle, that's your cousin. I said, no, if that's my cousin, I will not meet him. So then later on, she told me to write his name. And when that handsome man come back, give that letter to him, look for your cousin. So when I handed the paper like this, that's the time he grabbed me.
Yeah, they told me, you know this name? I go, I'm the one. I know, so I hugged her. And you know what happened? My uncle, the mother of Manairin, he grabbed my baloyot, my box. Oh, I thought this is Honolulu already, but how come they are robbery in the pier? But I never know that's my uncle. So we are grabbing. And then that's the end of the program.
Oh, wait. You gotta know some more. And my dad, he didn't have any money. And Auntie Erin got all their birth certificates and sent them back to the Philippines because the birth certificates were in Hawaii or different parts of the islands, different islands. She got a hold of all their birth certificates and sent them back to the Philippines. Not only that, she sent money for my dad because he didn't have enough money to come over to Hawaii. So she provided the money for him to come to Hawaii. And he stayed for how many months? In Hawaii, once you got to Hawaii, how many months did you stay?
That's around when I live in Hawaii. I think I'm working for 9 months before I bring my family back to Honolulu.
I remember the story when my dad told that story. I said, oh, and how did my mom feel about my dad being away from her and her being in the Philippines? Well, you said she was happy because she started to see the US dollars coming to the Philippines. Quickly, they decided, hey, you decided that it's time to move your family to Hawaii. Okay, so now, in what year was that, Auntie or Pops, that you guys, you came to Hawaii?
That's 1960, December 14, when I arrived in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Before we go any further, I'd like to have a round of applause for Auntie Quijano, Irina Quijano, for really extending her arm and hospitality, and God used her to bring the family back to the states, 50 states. Auntie, words cannot describe how much she's worth. She's so much, so much.
I really appreciate Manay Eren because he sacrificed for us. You know, the money that he sent to me, that's money that he worked hard for watching the baby. But I'm very lucky that day because very good to us and the family. In fact, Manay Eren is a good woman.
Hello. Without Manang Irene, dili ko makanig Hawaii, kaning Amerika. Kadaghan nagyud siya magsulat nako nga panihog Amerika. Nya katong katapusan kay ang kwarta lagi nga ipadasa ako manggastuhon. So one time nakingon na si Manang Irene nga adto na lang gid sa Amerika o sa Hawaii. Nya ningon ako mga anak, one of my son Alvin, ngano din mo suway ana sa kang Manang Irene. So nagpadala si Manang Irene og kwarta pero nananghid siya ni Pastor Lau. Unsa man ni kani si Honor padalhan na ba nako ni kwarta nga dili mangyapon mo ani. Ingon siya nga ipadala lang na sumala sa istorya ni Inko o ni Manang Irene ipadala lang law di sa mo ani da bahala siya. Mo to hinungdan nga nanganhin jud ko niya og wala pa ni si Manang Irene wala ang tako dinhi. Ug daghang kay salamat Manang Irene.
I make it short one, very short. Okay. I just make it short one. Pag dinhin, when Felix Duga was here in Hawaii already, she been writing to me, come now, because Edward was left in the Philippines. He's only a boy. And then I'm really ready to come, but I don't have money. But Manang Irene lent me a money to come over.
Wow.
And my husband is my brother lent the money.
Wow.
And we came here, 4 of us. My husband, I, Eliser, and Manoy Oliverio.
Wow.
That's the first time the 6 we came here. And then rest follow.
Wow. So you hear that? Even Auntie Ren sent money to Auntie Dimi and the Oliveira family.